I'll tell you something. The Republicans have the momentum right now. They smell victory at hand. Only a few years ago, the Republicans were looking like they were trying to find a soul. They were trying to figure out how they were going to win and how they're going to try to work with President Obama. Led by conservative talk radio and the Tea Party movement, the Republican Party is moving further to the right. And some of the most outrageous things being done by some of the Republicans or the conservative activists or even people in the Tea Party movement has got me wondering, for all the fear and loathing of President Barack Obama, what will the Republicans do if they should take over the House and the Senate and win some of the governorships? What will they do other than give President Barack Obama a headache? The thing here is that throughout this whole 2 years of President Obama, I realized that we're going into this issue by issue, diversion by diversion. The Republicans are stressing the economy. The Democrats are stressing the economy and what happened before they got into complete control of Congress, the White House, and governorships. Right now, some of the most weakest Democrats are governors. My state governor and many other governors in other states who are Democratic may lose their spot because of the bad economy. And with the conservative outrage and some of the most outrageous statements by many in the Republican Party or many in the conservative media, I realize that we have gone too far. And should the Republicans actually deserve this chance of being in power again? Last year we heard Rush Limbaugh get on radio and said, "I hope he fails," in regards to President Barack Obama's policies, his race, whatever. He said it was one of the most outrageous comments he said. Beck sat on the couch of Fox and Friends and he said that Barack Obama had a deep-seated hatred for white people. I think this guy's a racist. This is in regards to the officer and professor controversy where James Crowley and Henry Skip Gates had made this infamous debate over police profiling in the black and Hispanic community. And Sarah Palin came to the defense of Dr. Laura. Dr. Laura recently had made an infamous N-word rant to a black caller, and now she decides to resign from her post as a talk radio host. So that means Michael Savage will now be the fourth most listened to talk show host again. Sarah Palin defended her by saying, "Don't retreat, reload." Congressman Joe Wilson, when President Obama made an address to the nation, he shouted, "You lie." Michele Bachmann had said that the Obama administration is trying to bring socialism to us, and she said that it's time to start a revolution. Rand Paul, the U.S. Senate candidate from Kentucky, says certain things about the U.S. Civil Rights Act of 1964 should be replaced, and people have a right to discriminate. Although he didn't clarify it completely when he was on Rachel Maddow's show, whatever he said, it offended millions of Americans, okay? Sharon Angle, she's facing a tough battle against Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid. She said some pretty outrageous comments herself. This pastor down in Florida, Terry Jones, plans to burn 100 Qurans in regards to 9/11 and the Islamic Cultural Center being built in New York City. Pat Robertson, the guy that you see on the televangelist show, The 700 Club, said some pretty outrageous things recently too. This is what the conservative media is about. Fox News, The Drudge Report, Andrew Breitbart, Michelle Malkin, all this stuff. Rush Limbaugh, Glenn Beck, Bill O'Reilly, Sean Hannity. It's like they have channeled into the anger of the average voter. With this economy looking like it's getting worse, unemployment's actually higher than expected, and millions of people are trying to adapt to change. We got a whole mass of angry, conservative white males who will go directly to the voting polls and they will vote every Democrat, every independent, every moderate Republican out so they can try to establish a coalition of moderately conservative or conservative leaning politicians so they can at least resign themselves to being the party of Ronald Reagan. So over 30 years ago, we're still trying to think like we're Ronald Reagan. Instead of coming up with new ideas, trying to include blacks, Latinos, Arab Americans, Native Americans, Asian Americans, gay, lesbian, bisexual, and transgender, which they have trouble trying to acquire, they want to return back to Reagan 20, 30 years ago. Now, I don't have nothing against the Republicans or the conservative movement in general. They're entitled to say whatever they want about President Barack Obama. If President Obama is not doing well, you got a right to say whatever you want to say. No matter how extreme, no matter how bigoted, no matter how racist, no matter how inspiring it can be. The thing here is my point with the Republicans and the conservative movement is like this, you know. If you're going to play dirty bull and you win back Congress, you're going to expect the liberals, which is the MSNBC, the talk radio on the left, and the bloggers, as well as myself and many others who will probably we'll channel out our anger in this form or find other outlets to channel. We're going to do the same thing, and then we're going to have to think about the third party movement, which means that there'll be libertarians or a Green Party or even the Constitutional Party. We'll just think about other issues at hand. You know, the two main parties are souring among all of us. To think that Terry Jones wants to burn a Quran to offend not only those who may have attacked us on 9/11, which were the Saudis and the Yemenis, to think that he would burn an Islamic Quran that millions of Americans who are Muslim, in regards to something that some terrorists have done, it's just unthinkable. It's ludicrous. He's entitled to do whatever he wants. But for all the things that he does, may his soul rest. Conservative media, conservative television, well, I don't know how far we can go.